I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information at tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.
Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Hussein Ahmed. Hussein Ahmed is the founder and chief executive officer of Oxygen, a modern financial platform designed for the 21st century economy, offering both personal and business accounts for digital natives looking for a banking partner that understands how they live and work. As CEO, he oversees engineering and product in addition to guiding the company's overall vision and strategic business direction. Prior to Oxygen, Ahmed co-founded and served as chief executive officer of collaborative software company Transpose Technologies. A serial entrepreneur and technologist, he has started successful businesses, raised millions in venture capital, and built and managed large cross-functional teams in engineering, marketing, and data analytics, including as lead engineer of the Amazon Kindle and as head of engineering at BTLS Incorporated, a global library automation software company that was later acquired by Innovative Interfaces. During this time, spanning more than 15 years, Ahmed has consulted and advised companies on product design, go-to-market launches, and product marketing strategy. It was this experience as a freelance consultant that helped develop the idea that would become Oxygen.
Well, good afternoon, Hussein. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
This is awesome. Yes, you're absolutely right. I appreciate this as well. This is definitely going to be a great conversation. And Hussein, I've got some questions for you, so we're going to jump right in. So first off, you've got quite the career in engineering, technology, entrepreneurship, and now you're the founder and CEO of Oxygen. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Thanks so much. Yeah, I think that's a good observation also that we're coming from more like high tech than it is actually banking, which I think actually it was kind of like part of the frustration. I would say I also feel like of like how we've seen like all this technology evolving from like Mac to like on the hardware perspective of computers to other like iPhone devices and so forth. And then the software obviously from like social media to other apps on your phone. And then banking, it feeds that it was kind of still kind of way behind of like where it should have been like by 2020 at that time. And then frankly was another kind of trigger, I would say, / like light bulb moment was actually that I was at that time I was consulting, basically doing this like kind of like basically like freelance consulting gig out of WeWork, obviously pre-COVID. And I kind of started finding that the banks are not really designed to serve that like one man, one woman shop kind of business. So it's either you are like a typical 9-to-5 employee and you're making a salary, or you have like a large corporation, a large business. But like anybody in between would be basically like, honestly, for them, like on paper, you look like a glorified unemployed person per se. So I think between those two things, like how can we really have that like much more like high technology incorporated into banking and solutions we're offering, in addition to serving that market segment between this kind of like the atypical 9-to-5 jobs all the way to like this small business persona that is not really like corporate banking in a way.
Totally understand the difference, especially due to COVID. We've had to innovate and do things differently. So I like the fact that you've moved into a more of a digital space with the banking piece of it, which is, not traditional. So thanks again for sharing. And Hussein, as you know, everybody globally has had to make these major shifts to adapt to this new normal. Could you share with us what you're doing to help your company stay relevant in this economy?
Yes. So I think actually it was amazing as well how the economy, in a sense, kind of was an accelerator to the move to digital 2.0. So Peter, like how basically we went from like would somebody bank digitally, or like what do you mean there's no branches for a digital bank, all of a sudden basically the old real estate that like a Chase or a Wells would have, and which is obviously a prohibitively expensive kind of unfair advantage, became like rendered as useless kind of next day in the morning, like back in March of last year. So it was amazing also, like obviously how unfortunate it was kind of thing from the economic perspective, plus like people losing their jobs and so forth. But the silver lining, ironically, was like how basically it was an accelerator, a huge one, I would say, on speed of like how it was accelerated from this move of like, would you want to drive down to your bank, sit in line, or like take a ticket and wait for your kind of number to be called for, or would you rather have all these functions done from the comfort of your own home, kind of thing. So I think that shift in itself, honestly, was more of like a significant accelerator to what was skeptical basically with fintech take over. Does it really need branches, or actually we do really need branches? So I think that whole COVID kind of hit as well was kind of a clear mindset shift of like, yeah, like honestly, I would rather cash a check from like the couch, like take a picture from my phone, than like getting dressed, wake up like and like drive down to the bank and wait in line to just give a teller my check to deposit the check into an account. So I think that in itself definitely was like a major accelerator. Plus, obviously, like you've seen, like also what happened like with Square and like Chime, how they jumped on the wagon quickly with the Connect stimulus packages, paying out for individuals all over the country, literally like nationwide. So I think at that point, like us and them, and like other like for us, for example, like for us as well, the PPP loans, it was a big part as well. Like how can we help remotely, kind of with like almost like no physical touch, and yet you are getting your money delivered immediately. It shows up in the account. You can transact right away. You can like send money out, receive money in. So I think that whole shift to digital, I would say honestly, COVID was like a major factor in accelerating that shift faster than all of us would honestly anticipate that pre-March of 2020 last year.
Absolutely. I think what you've done is kind of like seize the day, right? You took advantage of the situation, and you just stepped up to the challenge, like a lot of companies and a lot of guests that I've had on my show. So I appreciate you sharing that, Hussein. And so, Hussein, you're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technology within your tech stack, right? This is what this platform is about. This podcast is around technology. Is there anything you care to share with our audience that's maybe not confidential around your technology?
No, of course, I think the big part actually, Peter, was honestly not to assume there's like more of a magical bullet than also incorporating as much technology, which is amazing about like Coruzant, is that like how you guys are kind of driving and pushing that forward of like how technology should be like up front and center, not like an add-on or like a nice to have, or like, yeah, probably we should investing in that. So I think that in itself is also, even back to your earlier question also about like my background as well, is with that background plus like even like in my career as well, like founded like 2 companies before Oxygen, worked at Amazon for like a short stint up in Seattle. So coming with this mindset also in a way also, actually I would say it is different, frankly, from like working with like somebody who actually like been in banking since like they graduated college all the career, because they don't really see technology being like the only tool perhaps, then it is actually like a nice to have or like something to tack onto your like processes on a daily basis. So I think for us, frankly, we're using like for example like AI. Obviously, again, we're not really like throwing it around like more like for like, yeah, we want to say that we're using AI or like machine learning as much as, frankly, for us actually it came to a point it's like table legs, I would say, on speed of like now you're trying to look through transactions for money laundering patterns, for example. Obviously, like a computer with a machine learning algorithm, like learning from signals that you're flagging those transactions manually initially, and then later it can start helping you like basically kind of not replace humans, I would say, honestly, like not to be like this like bold of a statement, as much honestly like you can definitely use like those kind of signals and scores to augment this human experience. So if you have an agent working or a support person working or like a fraud agent on the task, they don't really have to look and dig through papers and documents and like files and transactions, as much as they can start seeing all these scores plus like all the augmented technology pieces around that as well to derive a much faster decision. So I would say honestly, like think of like as well like okay, technology can replace humans and we can get there. I would say eventually, but like definitely right now we can definitely use a lot of technology all over the place, from like monitoring to scoring to like basically I would say honestly everything else, including like support as well. Like if you're trying to find the help article and you're typing something like when should a check show up, for example, we try to like surface that as well quickly for you. So I think it's gonna touch. It's touching everything from back office to customer-facing products. And it shouldn't be also say, okay, if I can't get to this like fully automated system, is it worth the investment? I would say honestly it is worth it, because the efficiency-wise at that kind of scale, to be like how fast we are growing, plus hopefully even to grow faster, would be that definitely like all these agents can definitely use the help of those systems, kind of augmenting this kind of experience that they are doing on the back office of things, let alone obviously the customer-facing products. How can you help them budget, plan, save, see things happening, expect, like, by the way, actually we've seen Netflix charge you at that date, so probably expect this charge to come in the next 2 days, and so forth. So I think it's going to help both sides also, even Peter, like from the customer-facing side of the house to the back office kind of agent and support team trying to support those customers on a daily basis. Great.
No, I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. There are a lot of different platforms that can augment staff today. And in some cases, from an RPA standpoint or NLP, you can almost replace the day-to-day mundane repetitive tasks. But I absolutely agree. What you're doing is simply amazing. You're expanding a platform into the next digital era of banking. So I appreciate that. And so, Hussein, I wanted to jump into this last question. Everybody on our audience would like to know a little bit more about Hussein Ahmed. Could you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in technology or entrepreneurship?
Stripe is the go-to choice for AI companies, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. 78% of the leading AI companies use Stripe to go to market quickly and scale globally. That includes pioneers like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Perplexity. Stripe has developed cutting-edge tools to improve everything from fraud detection to checkout optimization. Whether you're aiming for incremental gains or planning for enterprise transformation, see how Stripe can help at stripe.com.
Yes, thank you, Peter. Yeah, I think just like to be humble here. I think I was humbled honestly, but like by many failures more than successes. I would say honestly, Peter, like to be frank with you. And I think kind of maybe like I would say even like seeing my friends and like family and like other like people like college mates and like classmates and kind of work colleagues as well. I think probably like the biggest thing for everybody, including myself as well, is the fear of failure. Of like, okay, what if it did not work out? I'm gonna lose my job, like lose my salary, and I have those like payments coming up. So I think honestly, like frankly, if people think entrepreneurship and like kind of going on your own ways like is risky or like taking risks. As I honestly, frankly, I think actually it's like you're de-risking more than actually taking risks. Is that, for example, if you think that you're having this like mortgage payments now, or like a lease on a car, or like some like payments you have like to off like for like schools or something, I would just feel like for example, if you have like savings on the side to make sure that you are covered for, let's say, a 6 month kind of an experiment / kind of run / trial, I think it's worth it, honestly. Okay, so let's basically de-risk that runway of like I'm gonna save some money on the side to have this kind of adventure / experiment for the next like 6 months and see if something leads out of it or not, kind of thing. So I think that would be a big part of like, okay, I don't really have to like jump off a cliff and kind of hope for the best kind of situation. As much as honestly you can plan it accordingly, and it's totally doable in a sense, and not to be like also like definite and like tone deaf way. As much as honestly like people have engagements and like accountability for like their kids and schools and house and family. So I think, but what I'm trying to say is honestly like you can actually de-risk those kind of things. Is that like, for example, if this person has a good track record, amazing experience, have good references, so I don't think you're gonna be really left out. Like if you lost your job, if you quit, for example, to try something out. And again, there is no need to quit if you actually don't really have a conviction that you are onto something. So definitely not like, I'm not advising to just quit and sit on the beach kind of thing, wondering about like what can you build next in a sense. As much honestly, if you pick certain problems, ask around people, like, would you want to use this? Like, how much would you pay? If I would offer this like for X dollars, would this be of interest? Again, honestly, usually friends would be trying to be nice to you. It's like, yeah, that sounds great. So try to find like an asshole of a friend, or like probably be like much more helpful than like a nice friend, I would say. So just like say it like it is, basically like this is like a horrible idea to go after. And then I would say also like test it like a little bit by little bit, honestly, as well. Like the way even like looking at auction today, we started more like it was an MVP with like prepaid cards, and then we started seeing traction. Okay, actually this product, people actually use it and they want it and they're willing to pay X dollars, like at most, for example, for it, or maybe like perhaps like Y dollars, even if you offer like A, B, and C as well with that. And that's how we honestly start like from an MVP to like an initial launch to what we have today. So it was never going to be like we're building a mountain from day one. It's like you're going to build like a sand castle, honestly, and like see if something like somebody likes it, like the way it looks, like would use it, and then go from that castle to a hill then to eventually building this like empire and a mountain from that kind of experiments. And I don't think also like the idea of like it's like, yeah, you should just like quit your job and like figure something out, as much as honestly you should definitely plan for risk as well, honestly, for the company as well, even like running the company. Okay, like what next experiment you want to bet on your company and your team's kind of like in a sense kind of future, I would say also, Peter. So I think kind of the whole mix of kind of trying to take risks while making them more calculated risks, if you will, Peter, I think would be much more helpful. That okay, yeah, you can plan for it, save accordingly, manage this like experiment. Okay, don't like YOLO on like an investment or an idea as much. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try something out, see if it works. If it works amazingly, okay, I'm gonna take it one more step further. Actually, kind of commitment wise, are you quitting now or not? And then one more step further until you see, okay, this is actually amazing. I'm gonna actually drop everything to focus like 100% on this, and take it one step at a time as well, to build that from like a simple idea to become this like massive operation eventually.
Great. I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right, Hussein. You have to have kind of a plan in your mind and a commitment, a conviction in order to step out and go on your own. There is a lot of work behind that. And you and I both know that. So thanks again, Hussein. I appreciate it. And Hussein, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It was such a pleasure to be on the show, and obviously like huge fans of you guys. So can't wait as well to see more productions from Coruzant.
Great. Thank you again. Bye for now.
And that's a commercial break.
Nice. Ooh, hear that? My neck cracked. So satisfying.
Speaking of satisfying, I just used a Clorox toilet wand.
Ooh, with the cleaner already in it.
Yes, all in one. The brush just clicks on.
Click.
Then you swish, swish, swish.
Ah.
And pops right off into the trash.
Just click.
Swish.
Pop.
Clorox. Clean feels good.
Clean feels good.
Oh, we're back.
Use as directed.